Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Learn How to Sudoku, where we take a very easy variant Sudoku puzzle and we break it down in detail so that you can learn how to Sudoku. Today's very easy puzzle is called Locomotive in the Fog. I don't know why I swapped that. That was weird. And it's by Carmen Lambert. And here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means fill the entire grid with the digits 1 through 9 such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or box. We also have adjacent digits along green German whisper line must have a difference of at least 5. So as an example, if this were a 3, this would have to be an 8 or a 9 to make sure, because 8 and 9 are the only digits that are 5 or more away from 3. So that's an example of how German whisper lines work. We also have digits along a magenta Ren band form a set of consecutive non-repeating digits in any order. We don't have an example here, so let's create one. So say, oops, this is not, we want to do centers only. So say we had a Ren band like this. You could have something along the lines of, say, like 3, 7, 4, 5, 4, and 6. And that would satisfy this Ren band because you would have the digits from 3 to 7, which means they are all consecutive, and there are no repeats along this Ren band. What would not work is something like 3, 8, 4, 5, 4, 6, because there's a gap between the 3, 4, 5, 6 and the 8. So that's how Ren band lines work. We also have digits along an orange parity line must alternate between odd and even. So we don't have an example of that, so let's draw one. We're just going to draw the same line. So if this were, say, an odd number, say it was a 3, you would have to have an even number next to it. So this could be like 6. This would have to be odd, so that would be like 7. This would have to be even. This would be like 4, and then we could have another odd, and that would be 9. Actually, it could even be 3. You can have repeats on orange parity line. Okay, that is how parity lines work. We've done Ren band, German whisper, and parity. Cells with a filled circle must be odd, so all of these digits are odd. And cells with a filled square must be even. So if it's a filled square, it has to have an even digit inside of it. Digits in a cage do not repeat and sum to the clue in the top left. Wow, there's a lot of rules here that we don't see. So say we had a cage here, and say it was something like this. And say there was like a 10 in the top left corner. Then these 3 digits would have to add up to 10, and you could not have repeats in them. And that's how killer cages work. We also have crop key dots, where a black dot between cells indicates cell values with a 2-to-1 ratio. So for example, if this were 2, this would have to be a 1 or 4 to maintain the 1-to-2 ratio. A white dot between cells indicates cells with consecutive values. So if this were 2, this would have to be 1 or 3 to make sure that these digits are consecutive. Not all dots are shown. A V between 2 cells mean they add up to 5. So say we pretend this was a V. If this is a V, if this were 3, this would have to be 2 because these 2 digits would have to add up to 5. Now say we had an X actually. So we'll mark that as a dark black. So if this were 3, this would have to be 7 because these 2 digits would have to add up to 10 if they have an X in between them. We also have little killer clues, which are digits along a diagonal pointed to by arrows outside the grid must sum to the number listed. So for example, these 5 digits must add up to 26. These 3 digits here must add up to 7. And that's how little killer works. And then finally, we have fog of war, where the board is covered in fog. Place a digit correctly and the fog will lift around it. So if you place a digit correctly here, say, it would clear the fog in that cell and in the 8 surrounding cells around it. And those are all the rules. That's a lot of rules, I will admit. If you like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's learn how to Sudoku. Okay, so one thing is, the first thing that comes to my mind is this little killer clue that adds up to 7. They're all 3 unique numbers, and they must add up to 7. The only possible combination there is 1, 2, and 4. These 3 are odd digits. So since this is odd, this has to be an even digit. And it's in between 2 unique digits on a German whisper line. Therefore, this can only be 2 or 8 here. It can't be 4. 4 can only be next to 1 unique digit on a German whisper line. Same with 6. And we know this is even because this digit is odd. Since this is 2 or 8, this has to be 1 or 4. If we had a 1 here, this would be 2, but then this would have to be 2 because these were consecutive, so this can never be 1. Therefore, this is a 4. This can't be 4. This is 3 or 5, and this is 2 or 6 to go with that. Let's see. This is odd. This is even. So we have even, even, even. That's 3 evens. This is odd. Only one of these is odd. One of them is even. Okay. This is consecutive with this digit, so it's either 1, 3, 7, or 9 here. Cannot be 5. 5 cannot be here. 6 cannot be here. 6 can't be any of the odd digits. Where is the 6 possible in this box? It has to be here. So this is 6, which makes this 5. These are all odd, so 2 has to be one of these digits here. 8 has to be one of these digits here, so this cannot be 2 then. This is 1 or 4. This is a low digit, which makes this a high digit. It's in between 2 unique digits. It cannot have an 8 because 8 is one of these. So this is either 7 or 9 here, which is consecutive with 6 or 8 here. So we have 2 and 8 here. This is next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line. This is also next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line. So this is high, right? You'll always alternate on a German whisper line between low digits and high digits. And the reason why you know that is what are the digits that can be next to, and the low digits are 1 through 4, the high digits are 6 through 9. And the reason why you know that is what are the digits, just ask yourself, what are the digits that can be next to a 1 through 4? 1 can be next to 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 can be next to 7, 8, 9. 3 can be next to 8 and 9. And 4 can only be next to 9. Therefore, if you have a digit that's 1 through 4, it will be next to a digit that's 6 through 9. Similarly, if you have a digit 6 through 9, what digits are next to that? 6 can only be next to 1, 7 can be next to 1 or 2, 8 can be next to 1, 2, or 3, and 9 can be next to 1, 2, 3, or 4. So you always have a digit from 1 through 4 next to a high digit. So since this is low, this has to be high, which makes this a low, which makes this high, which makes this a low. So this is 2. This has to be 8. So this is 1 or 3. Because the 8 has to be one of these. It cannot be here or here because they're both low. This is a high. So this is 7 or 9. It's next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line. And this must be 1, 3, or 4 here. 7 or 9 is next to 6 or 8 here, but this can't be 6 because of this 6. Therefore, this is an 8. This is odd. Um, this can only be 1 or 3 that are consecutive with the 2. This is then 1 of 3. This is 1 of 3. We have a 1, 3, 1, 3 pair in this box, which eliminates 1, 3 in the box. So this must be a 7, 9 pair here. This is next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line, so this cannot be 4 either. We have a 1, 3, 1, 3 pair in row 8, which eliminates 1 and 3 in the rest of the row, so this can't be 1 or 3, so this is 4, which means this can't be 4. This is on a German whisper line. The only high digit we have remaining in row 8 is a 6. So this must be 6, which forces this to be 1, because 3 can't be next to a 6 on a German whisper line. That makes this 3. The 3 can only be next to 8 and 9 on a German whisper line, so this is 9. It's only consecutive with 8 out of 6 or 8. That makes this a 7. These are also, this 3 eliminates 3 here, so this is 1, which makes this a 2, which makes that a 1. These are both odd, so these have to be a 3, 5 pair. Those are the only odds left. Where's a 4 in row 7? It has to be here, which makes this a 6. Right? That's the only digit remaining. This has to be 5. The only digits remaining here are 3 and 7. The only remaining digits here are 2 and 9. Okay, this diagonal, okay, there's a V here, and it cannot be 2 and 3, so this must be a 1, 4 pair. This diagonal of 5 digits adds up to 26. This is specifically 3, 5, and 8, so that's 16, so these two digits must add up to 10. Well, if this were 4, this would have to be 6, but that can't be a 6 because of the 6 in the column. So this must be 1, which makes this a 4. This is a 9 then. These are consecutive and form a Renban for 4 in length. So this has to be 5 and 7 because we cannot have 9. So the only possible combination for this Renban is 5 and 7. This is odd, which makes this even, which makes this odd. So this is 1, 3, 5, 7. Can't be 5 because of this 5. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. This can't be 7 because of this 7. And this is 2, 6, 8, 2, 6, 8, and 2, 6, 8. This can't be 2, though, because of that 2. This can't be 6 because of this 6. This has to be even. Cannot be 4 or 8, so it's 2 or 8 here. Sorry, 4 or 6. So it's 2 or 8 here. 5 can never be on a German whisper line because if you have 5, subtract 5 from it, you get 0 or less, which is not a normal Sudoku digit. If you add 5 or more to 5, you get 10 or more, which is not a digit. So this must be 7, which makes this a 5. 7 can only be next to 1 or 2 on a German whisper line, and this can't be 1, so this must be 2. 2 can be next to 7, 8, or 9 on a German whisper line, which can be next to 1 through 4, but this can't be 3 because of this 3. This 5 means none of these can be 5. The remaining digits here are 3, 6, and 8. 6 cannot be here. Where is the 6? It has to be in this box. It has to be here. So this becomes 3 or 8, which eliminates 3 and 8 from the rest of the column. So this can't be 3. This is 7. This is 3. If this were, that's 3 in the corner. We celebrate because we know we're getting close to solving this. If this were a 3, that would make this a 7 to add up to 10, but we already have a 7 in the column, so this can't be 3. This is 8, this is 3, this is 2. The remaining digits in column 8 are 1 and 5. The remaining digits in column 9 are 7, 8, and 9. And the remaining digits in column 7 are 3, 4, and 6. This 2 eliminates 2 from being here. This can't be 8 anymore. These digits are consecutive. You cannot have 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. You could have 4, 5. You could have 5, 6. You can't have 6, 7. You can't have 7, 8. Or you could have 8, 9. If this is 8, that's 9. Okay. This can't be 5, though. And this can't be 6. This is 1 or 4. It's next to a high digit, so this is 6, 7, 8, or 9. But can't be 8. What else are we missing? Remaining digits in column 6 cannot be 7 or 9, so it could be 1, 2, 4, 5, 8. That seems fine. Okay, where can the 2 be in the central box? Can't be here, can't be here, can't be here, because the 2 would have to be consecutive with 1 or 3, so it must be here. So this is a 2, which means this cannot be 2. These cannot be 2 either. Whereas the 1 in the central box, it has to be one of these 2 cells. 4 can be one of these 3 cells in the central box. Hmm. Um. Hmm. So we've done that. We've done this. This can never be 4. If this were 4, this would have to be 5 or 3 here. And 5 can't be here because of this 5, and 3 can't be here because of this 3. So 4 cannot be here. We know 1 and 4 both have to be here. 1 has to be one of these 2. 4 has to be one of those 2. Huh. So I see the locomotive. This is like the steam coming out of its stack. This is the train. These are the wheels. This is the engine, or the base part of the engine. Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. This is... I don't... Yeah. What am I missing? 1 cannot be here or here. 6 cannot be here. It cannot be here. So 6 has to be one of these 3. Also, 6 has to be one of those 3 for the same reasoning. 8 cannot be here or here, so 8 has to be one of these three. 8 can be one of these three also. What are the remaining digits in row 5? Let's actually just remove what we just put in. They have to be 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. Well, this can't be 2 or 4. This can't be 8. Every thing else seems okay. Um, what about these digits? Can't be 1, 2, could be 3, no 4, could be 5, no 6 or 8, so this is 3, 5, 7, 9. Hmm. Huh. Mm. Huh. For some reason, I'm just like stumped here. Okay, if this is 4, this would be 9 and 9. Okay, there we go. If this is 4, this becomes 9 and 9, which would force both of these to be 7. And that's not allowed because you have a repeat in the same box. So this cannot be 4, this must be 1, which means this can't be 1. This is on a German whisper line, so it must be low. So it's 1, 3, or 4 here. This must be high, so it can't be 3 or 5. It's 7 or 9. We have a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair in the central box, which eliminates 7 and 9 in the rest of the box. This can't be 9 anymore. This can't be 9. This is 4 or 6, which forces this to be a 5. So this is 5, which means neither of these can be 5. This can't be 5. This can't be 7. This 6, 8 pair in this box also eliminates 6 and 8 from the rest of the box. This can't be 6, so this is 4, which means this can't be 4. This is a low digit on a German whisper line because it's next to 7 or 9, so this could be 1, 3, or 4 here. This is an odd digit, and it cannot be 1 or 3 because of the 1, 3 pair in the column. Can't be 5, it has to be the other 7 or 9, which is, with a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair eliminates 7 and 9 from the rest of the column. So this can't be 7 or 9. This must be 6, which forces this to be 1, because 6 can only be next to 1 on a German whisper line. This becomes 3, this is 1, this is 7. This has to be a 2 because it's the only digit remaining. This is odd also, so it could be 3, 5, 7, or 9. We already knew that that was actually odd, so I guess this is, oh no, this is not, this is still part of the train. This is the smokestack. Okay. This can't be 6 because of this 6. We just have 3, 5, 7, 9 remaining here. This can't be 1 because of this 1. Therefore, this is a 3 or 4. 3 or 4 can only be next to 9 out of 7 or 9 on a German whisper line. So this is 9, this is 7. The 3 or 4 can only be next to 8 or 9 on a German whisper line, and then this has to be low. So this could be 1 through 4, but it can't be 1 because of that 1. Remaining digits in row 4 are 3, 4, and 5. This is next to an even digit on the parity line, so this is 3 or 5. These cannot be 4 or 5. Excuse me. Because of the 3, 4, 5 triplet in the box. This 8 means this can't be 8, so this must be 9. This adds up to 14. It has to specifically be 5 and 9 here. So this is 5, this is 9. This can't be 9 here. This can't be 9 here, so this is 2, which makes this a 9. This 5 means this can't be 5, so this is 3, this is 4. This cannot be 4 here. The 3 can only be next to 8 or 9 on a German whisper line, therefore this is an 8, which makes this a 2, which makes that 6, which makes that 8, 6 and 8. This can't be 9. This is an even digit, because it's in a square, so it must, the only one left is 4, which makes this 3. This can't be 8 or 9, so this is 7. This can't be 3 or 7, so this is 5. This is a low. It cannot be 2, 3, or 4, so it must be 1. This has to be 6 or 7, but 6 cannot be next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line, so this is 7, which forces this to be 2, because that's the only possibility for that cell, versus 3, 2, and 3. This leaves this as a 5. This 5 eliminates 5 here, so this is 3, this is 5. That forces this to be 3 and 6. This 3 and 6 cannot be 3 and 6, so it's 4, which makes this a 6. This 4 eliminates 4 here, so that's 8 and 4. This 7 eliminates 7 here, so this is 9, 7, 9. This can't be 3 or 9, so this is 7, which makes this a 3. The 1 eliminates 1 here, so this is 5. 1, this can't be 7 or 8, so this is 9. And therefore, this is an 8. Yay, you completed the puzzle. Click the back arrow and click on the word here to see the picture without numbers. Do we have here? I think I have to click... I don't know. I think it's marking on the post. It's not the anything in this puzzle itself. Actually, it was a little tricky for a very easy puzzle. There were some interesting, like this in particular, this deduction was in particular very interesting. Not one that's actually fairly common either, so that was very interesting here. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Learn How to Sudoku, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.